Welcome to the Midweek message. We're taking some lessons from the book of Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes is a treatise on the meaning of life. And I'm reading from the contemporary English version. In Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 1, when the son of David was king in Jerusalem, he was known to be very wise, and he said, "Nothing makes sense. Everything is nonsense. I have seen it all. Nothing makes sense. What is there to show for all of our hard work here on this earth? People come and people go, but still the world never changes." And that's Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. So let's look at them individually. Verse 1 introduces the person who is writing the book, or from whom the book came. When the son of David was king in Jerusalem, who was that? That was Solomon. He was known to be very wise. Who was that? That was Solomon. And he said, remember I said Ecclesiastes is a treatise on the meaning of life. He said, verse 2, "Nothing makes sense. Everything is nonsense. I have seen it all, and nothing makes sense." Now, perhaps you felt that way. It's easier to feel that way if you've lived a few years. And sometimes the optimism of youth, the big dreams that we had after having suffered setbacks and having seen the cycle of life, we reach the place where we say, we've seen it all. Nothing makes sense. Everything is nonsense. And how many times do we say in the course of our normal lives, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't fit the paradigm. You can particularly be that way from a Christian standpoint. Sometimes a Christian will be disheartened because they try to do the right thing, and yet the opposite of what they want to come is what they get. They do the right thing and get the wrong thing, so to speak. And so nothing makes sense. Listen, life is uneven. That's the best way to put it. People will often say life is not fair. Of course, the question then is, what is fair? And does anybody really deserve anything at all? But the best way to put it is to say that life is uneven. Not everybody gets the same thing for the same amount of effort. And Solomon follows up on that in verse 3. What is there to show for all of our hard work here on this earth? We try and try and try, and we get the result that we did not want. The thing that we were trying to avoid is the thing that happens. That doesn't make sense. It makes sense that a person that does the wrong thing would receive bad, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's the person that does the right thing. And Solomon says, what is there to show for all of our hard work here on this earth? How many times have you seen something come to nothing that you invested great toil and even treasure into? And so we have nothing to show, Solomon said. And verse 4, people come and people go, but still the world never changes. Things don't really change on a grand scale. Solomon said, people come and go off the scene.